Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So if you guys remember this E36, haven't been posting too much work on it as far as like build things, because I pretty much built it from like the last video you guys may have seen. M52 stroker, basic things, angle kit, welded diff, coilovers, blah blah blah, just all that good stuff. Still on a trailer because I just came back from an event 2 days ago. I'll be posting some videos on it. That's my brother's IS. Been ripping these things. So far so good, everything's been good on it, but I got pretty big plans for it. I am actually going to be LS swapping this thing. Yeah, so it's been like a year or two since I built this motor. If you guys seen any of my videos, it's just the M52 stroker. Good motor, has plenty of power for it being somewhat stockish. Have tons of fun on it, but I don't know, just wanted to, I was either gonna go boost or LS swap. I decided to go LS swap because this motor that's in here now, I want to toss it into my E30. I can go ahead and show you guys that car later. It's somewhere out there. So I picked up a LQ4 from like a 05 or 04 Yukon. It's a Gen 3. It's a 6.0. Pretty much all torn down apart from the block. I'm going to be redoing the entire bottom end, putting a cam in it, intake, just all the good stuff. All BTR valve train, so there's going to be a good amount of work that's going to be going into the engine. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. Let's get to the engine and just start assembling it, and we'll just go from there. So stay tuned, guys. So this is actually the E30 that I restored a while. I picked this thing up like 5-6 years ago. It's just been super neglected. I got some bright seats in this thing. Well, I gotta mount them, but I picked these up on Facebook for a steal, so kind of match the car with the blue. But yeah, my M52, I want to toss it into this thing. That's why I was considering either boost or LS. I was more leaning towards boosting my E36 because the motor is like built for it. But I kind of want to start driving this thing too. It's just been standing for like the past 4 years. It's just got the stock M20 in it. So yeah, that's kind of my goal for now. LS swap the E36, throw in the M52 in this thing, and we'll just go from there. So it should be a fun car with that motor set up in this thing. All right, so this here is the 6.0 that I'm going to be running. It started out as a junkyard pull out from like a Yukon or something. Picked it up on Facebook for pretty cheap. Had some machine work done on it. Had the block cylinders honed. Had it just super cleaned up. Cam bearings, they were replaced too. Pistons were also sorta clean. Still kind of want to take out the rings and just go over everything. Heads were also machined. I'm running the 317 heads. Had them decked and shaved like 30,000ths of an inch to increase compression. Valves were, I think there was some valve work done on the engine or on the heads as well, because I think it wasn't sealing. So heads are pretty much good to go. That is super clean. Hold on, gotta take the valve cover off. So I'm going to be installing the trunnion kit for the rockers. Got the BTR dual valve springs on here, on both of the heads, obviously. Let's see, I'm gonna be running, got a ton more other parts, just kind of chilling in a different area, but running LS7 lifters. But yeah, basically just a whole refresh on the motor. New rings, new rod bearings, new main bearings. Running the stage 3 Michigan cam. Specs, I'm not sure, I forgot what they are, but it's a pretty big cam for this setup that I'm going for. Let's see, that's the crank. I'm gonna go ahead and clean it real quick, and yeah, should be pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the block, maybe pressure washer real quick, get it super clean and dry, and start installing the crank and just the entire rotating assembly. So let's just get to it. All right, so for main bearings, I'm going to be running the Molly, and for the rod bearings, same brand. These are pretty good, pretty reputable. Piston rings, I'm going to be running just the standard sized Hastings rings. Should be good for this build. So let's start throwing in the main bearings, start checking clearances on the crank, and we'll get that installed. We'll also get the cam hopefully installed and the pistons installed as well. I'm going to be checking the ring gap on it just to make sure it's within spec. So let's get to it. Alright guys, so just put in the plastic gauge on the main caps, torqued everything down to spec. Now I'm gonna unbolt all these bolts, measure the clearances, and see if everything is up to spec. So let's get to it. The crank bearing should be between 0.020 to 0.065 of a millimeter. I am about 0.038. Alright guys, so this is day 2. I was going to keep working on the bottom end, but I started to try to clean up the pistons, and they were just full of like the carbon deposit crap. So I'm just letting them sit in fuel overnight. That way all that crap on the inside the ring lands will be super clean. So I'm gonna let that sit. In the meantime, I am actually pressing in the triune or trinion, however you pronounce it. I'm installing the BTR Tryon kit. These are the old ones. Alright, so just pressed in the new rocker. Pretty simple to do, just takes some time, kind of time consuming. But anyways, only thing I have left to do on this one is put 2 washers on each side and put a snap ring, and it should be good to go. Alright, so right now I'm checking clearances on the rods. I had it torqued down, now I'm unbolting everything. 0.18 of an inch. So 18 thousandths of an inch, which is within spec. That's for these 2. Let's go ahead and check the rest of these. Alright guys, so the rod bearing clearances checked out. Most of them were about 18 thousandths of an inch and whatnot, so everything's pretty good and within spec. Now I'm going to start measuring the ring gap on each cylinder. I'm running the Hastings rings. So it's about 20 thousandths of an inch for the top ring. Installing the rings and clocking them. So the oil ring has 3 rings. You got the wavy looking one, and then the 2 scrapers, and then you got 2 compression rings. It's pretty simple once you know where the rings go. This is the middle compression ring. There's an orientation. Some companies have like a dimple. This one just says top. So it's gonna go like this. So the bottom one is at the 6 o'clock position. Top one will be at around 12. And the top one, there's no markings on it, so it's you could put it either way, upside down or right side up, it doesn't matter. And just like that. Make sure the rings don't move. Let's oil up the sidewall. That's pretty much it. Last piston. I'm going to be using the ARP bolts. These here. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for this video. Bottom end is somewhat assembled. Just got to do like the other things like heads, cam, and covers, oil pan, all that good stuff. I got tons more content coming up. Obviously with this new build, I'm going to be posting a lot more drifting videos and whatnot. And we got tons of events coming up. So again, hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's going to be a lot more work up ahead for this car. I got pretty much most of the parts. The only thing I have left to do is for transmission. I'm going to be running my stock ZF transmission. And I think PMC sells a kit which adapts the LS motor to my transmission, and I could use my drive shaft and just my shifter and just everything that's off my car right now, which makes sense. That's the only thing I have left. Other than that, all my other swap parts are all here. So I'm just gonna cut the video here, but my next video is gonna be me just fully furnishing this engine, putting the heads on, intake, just kind of everything for it to be ready to be tossed inside the car. And that's pretty much it. So see you guys in the next video.